Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Please like, share and subscribe if you're interested in this content. That would be absolutely fantastic and would really help the channel. Thank you. So today we have an article from Sky News based with Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton calls out rival teams for our lack of action on racism. No other team has done a single thing, says Lewis Hamilton, as he urges more action from F1 teams in the fight for equality. We'll see in this video that Lewis Hamilton has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. And we'll continue on. Lewis Hamilton has applauded his Mercedes team for joining him in taking the knee ahead of the weekend's Formula One race, but he said other teams, including Ferrari, must do more to combat racism. Lewis has no idea what he's talking about. The 35-year-old reflected on a beautiful moment before his Styrian Grand Prix victory in Austria when Mercedes joined him in support of the BLM movement. He told Sky Sports F1, "It's not something I asked for them to do. I'd say you coerced them, to be honest. I would say there's probably a little bit of gamesmanship here now from Lewis, similar to Anthony Joshua, who was also falling down the pecking line in terms of people respecting him over this whole thing. But it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't take a lot to do something like that, and it's not changing the world, but perhaps shifting perceptions and shifting ideals. We'll just keep going." Well, Lewis, I'm going to just keep going and I'm going to expose you now as an absolute fraud. So we'll see here that we have Hugo Boss, which you wear. Hugo Boss AG, often styled as Boss, is a German luxury fashion house headquartered in Metzingen, Baden-Württemberg. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The company produces clothing, accessories, footwear and fragrances. Hugo Boss is one of the biggest German clothing companies, with global sales of 2.9 billion in 2019. Its stock is a component of the MDAX. That's good. However, the next paragraph is really going to show what Boss and how Boss were founded. The company was founded in 1924 by Hugo Boss and originally produced general purpose clothing. Fine, no problem. With the rise of the Yahtzee party, and again, I'm going to say Yahtzee rather than the other word because YouTube don't like certain words, so that's why I refer to this as Yahtzee. In the 1930s, Boss began to produce and sell Yahtzee uniforms. I bet you didn't know this, Lewis. Boss would eventually supply the wartime German government with uniforms for organisations such as the Youth and the SS, resulting in a large boost in sales. So I wonder if Lewis is going to take this into account, that this party were involved in the extermination of over 6 million people. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that he's going to put away that sponsorship deal. Now we're going to come next to see who Lewis is driving for. He's driving for Mercedes. So Mercedes and Jewish roots. This is an article from jalopnik.com, and they say, weren't open Mercedes the rides of choice for the Yahtzee set in the 1930s? Yes, they were. But he and company were riding in cars named after the granddaughter of a Hungarian rabbi. There's a famous photo of him from 1934 which shows him standing in the rear of a 7.6 litre inline 8 Grover Mercedes. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Leading a parade of Yahtzees down the first completed stretch of the Autobahn between Frankfurt and Darmstadt. The stretch of road which would see Rudolf Karkolia set the public road speed record of 268.8 miles per hour, which stands to this day. Wow. I mean, I would highly doubt that Lewis is actually in knowledge of this information due to his comments. We're going to come now and see Lewis himself. So Lewis likes to be morally just and be the guy that he's saying, I'm doing the right thing. But here's what Lewis is up to. His residence and his tax scrutiny, which is on his Wikipedia page, is quite far down, and you have to look into it a little bit. But Hamilton announced his intention to live in Switzerland in 2007, stating that this was because he wished to get away from the media scrutiny that he experienced living in the UK. He said on the television show Parkinson that taxation was also a reason. Nothing to do with the media scrutiny, all due to taxation. That's what it's about. He settled in Lewins in Vaud Canton on Lake Geneva. In 2007, Hamilton joined many Formula One drivers past and present when he moved to Monaco, purchasing a house worth a reported £10 million. But Lewis is not equal to the rest of us. Sure he isn't. Hamilton also owns an apartment in Manhattan, New York, which he bought for US $40 million, and an estate in Colorado where he has said he would live after his retirement. Lewis, I don't think you're equal to me, dude. I really don't. Hamilton was one of, and I'm going to preface that by saying he's a millionaire, and I certainly am not. So Lewis, talk about equality. Give me some of those shillings, please. Hamilton was one of several figures whose tax arrangements were singled out for criticism in a report by the social justice charity Christian Aid in 2008. The same year, Hamilton received public criticism from UK members of Parliament for avoiding UK taxes. Oh my God, this guy is going to lecture us on what we should be doing. This guy is doing anything but. Following the leak of the confidential Paradise Papers in November 2017, it was reported that Hamilton had avoided paying 3.3 million of value-added tax on his Challenger 605 private jet worth 16.5 million pounds. If an average Joe did that, they'd be in jail. You know? So, how has he escaped this court order or justice? In fact, how? Money. So he is not equal to us, the average Joe. According to BBC Panorama, the leasing deal set up by his advisors appear to be artificial and not comply with an EU and UK ban on VAT refunds for private use. So the BBC happened to cover things up, I suppose, as usual. BBC also said that Hamilton's social media accounts provide evidence that he has used his jet for holidays and other personal trips. The jet was sold in September 2019. So the BBC ended up helping to grass you up. So I'm going to finish out this video by saying I think what Lewis Hamilton is doing here even is ridiculous. He's looking for reform. He has a chain around his neck with a padlock. This man has absolutely no idea of the real world anymore. He is talking about fighting for injustice. He's shown anything but. He's actually really escaped justice in terms of avoiding tax. He also has absolutely no knowledge of the past of the companies that he's representing. Maybe he might take a look at this video, which would be fantastic, and he might, have an idea on his stance. Maybe it might change. It might change that he might not drive for Mercedes anymore. It might change that he might not wear Hugo Boss anymore. But I highly doubt it. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and I will talk to you later.